Okay, so today we're going to talk all about acetyl-CoA, okay? There's a whole section about this so we can tell it's pretty important. So we're going to go over methods of forming acetyl-CoA first. So your major source was the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, which is just abbreviated PDH, and that converts pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. And again, it's pretty easy to remember, right? Pyruvate, dehydrogenase, meaning that you're taking something away, and then complex, it just means complex. So this is your major source of pyruvate. Now what's required? Now this is very important at these cofactors, and so is the inhibition. So NAD plus, CoA, TPP, and lipoproic acid, as well as your fulvin protein. These are all required for the formation of pyruvate through the pyruvate. For the formation of acetyl CoA through the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. These are all required. So what is it inhibited by? Well, it's inhibited by acetyl-CoA and NADH. Obviously, right? If you have too much acetyl-CoA, well, you need a pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. And if you have a lot of NADH, well, you're also not going to need the pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. So another method of forming acetyl-CoA is by beta oxidation. So what happens is your fatty acids are transported through something called the creatine shuttle. Now, it's transported into your mitochondria. So when this happens, two carbon units will be cleaved, meaning cut off, and it's going to go ahead and make acetyl-CoA. So a few more ways is amino acid catabolism. So we're not going to go over it today, but this is definitely something I want you guys to do on your own, is look up what ketogenic amino acids are. Now this is like very important, especially when you start getting to the citric acid cycle and everything. Those ketogenic amino acids can be turned to acetyl-CoA. Okay? And again, very important. Another way is ketone bodies. So you can turn your reversible conversions into acetyl-CoA. Okay, so you could turn ketone bodies into acetyl-CoA. There's a few types of ketone bodies, right? Acetone. You have this one, right? So this one is called, I think it's like beta. It's called beta something, right? Because this is your alpha carbon, and then you have your beta hydroxyl. So those are some examples of ketone bodies, and these will get converted into acetyl-CoA. And this usually happens when you're like fasting or you're starving or you're hungry, very low caloric environments. Last but not least, we're going to talk about how alcohol can turn into acetyl-CoA, and this just happens via the acetaldehyde dehydrogenase complex. And that happens. Oh, and then this inhibits NADH buildup, inhibits the T-say cycle. So usually when we're turning ethanol into acetyl-CoA, that happens when we need to regenerate NAD plus. Okay, so when you have a lot of NADH, you're going to need to turn that into NAD plus, and to do that, we're going to need to turn alcohol to acetyl-CoA. So next, I see you guys in a pretty big chapter, the Krebs cycle. So see you then.